Video Sports and the TSSAA present the 1993 Clinic Bowl from Dudley Field on the campus of Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Class 5A Tennessee State Championship game between the Lincoln County Falcons and the Murfreesboro Riverdale Warriors. I'm Steve Lusk along with Billy Ringgold to bring you today's game. Billy, the best have made their way to Nashville.
Two excellent football teams, very talented. They've had great years. Lincoln County is 13-0, Riverdale 13-1. Both teams have been highly ranked during the year. Lincoln County #1. They're in the top 20 in the USA Today poll. Riverdale's been in the top 5 all year long.
What are some of the things to look for in today's game, Bill?
Lincoln County has a very balanced offensive attack. They run about 60% of the time, or most of their yards will come on the ground. When they do run, look for Keith Henderson. He's had over 1,500 yards rushing this year. They have a good quarterback in Shelby Parker. He's thrown for over 1,300 yards. Up front, they have an offensive line that is very strong. It's anchored by Lee Ellis. Defensively, though, I think maybe their strength. They're very strong up front. They've got great linebackers. Maybe the best in the state is a tandem. Chad Henderson and Carlos Hadley are excellent. And then they've got Mr. Football. David Grogan is a defensive back. He's just a great athlete. For Riverdale, you're going to see a team that likes to run the ball. And they kind of do it by committee. They have 3 backs who have combined for 2,000 yards. And up front, they have got a great lineman, too, in Josh Robinson. Defensively, great team defense. They have an excellent secondary. Fernando Bryant, Alvin Duke, Kenny McGowan, all back there. A very good linebacker, and Antron Peoples.
Both teams are very well coached. Lewis Thompson is in his 5th year at Lincoln County, and he has compiled not only the state championship in 1990, but a 46-14 overall record. And Gary Rankin had his team in the semifinals last year and has done a tremendous job at Riverdale through the years. And just superb coaches, well coached all the way through, both sides of the ball. And that's one of the reasons these teams are here. Before the game, we had the opportunity to talk to both of these coaches. First, let's hear from Riverdale's Gary Rankin.
We'll probably have to eliminate turnovers. You know, that's the biggest thing, these big ball games like this. I'd say the team that can eliminate the turnovers and not give up a big play on defense will have a better chance to win.
We asked Coach Lewis Thompson of Lincoln County about the keys to victory for today's game.
Well, I think the first thing we're going to have to do is really play very well on defense. Riverdale does an excellent job with their offense. I think Coach Rankin has got one of the better offenses in the state. Our defense will definitely have to play the best game this season.
Let me bring on Coach Greg Lusk and ask you, Greg, what do you think about today's game? What are some of the things to look for?
Well, Lincoln County runs a multi-formation offense, which is going to rely on balance of the run and the pass. They're going to run the ball in the I formation for the most part. If the quarterback has time to pass, he's normally extremely accurate. Riverdale has a very quick, aggressive 5-3 defense that may give Lincoln County some trouble. Riverdale has a running attack that's going to use extremely fast athletes in both the I and the split back formations. They must control the line of scrimmage, which will be tough against the very sound, athletic 5-2 defense of Lincoln County. Both teams have big play capabilities. Lincoln County has several receivers they can go to, but the big play man is going to be Grogan. Riverdale can use any one of their trio, Duke, McGowan, or Williams, of running backs to be very explosive and break the big play on the run. There's just a lot of great athletes going to be on the field tonight.
The officials for today's game: Michael Welch, referee, umpire Johnny Reed, linesman Robert Weir, line judge Gary Robinson, back judge Joseph Templeton, the electric clock operator John Lively. The captains down on the field for Riverdale: Kenny McGowan, Maricus Williams, Josh Robinson, and Demetrius Nelson. Across the way for Lincoln County, the seniors are joined by number 63, Danny Lowe, number 66, Lee Ellis, number 72, Lance Kelly, and number 53, Daniel Tarpley. Let's go down to the field for the coin toss.
I have Captains Nelson, McGowan, Robinson, and Williamson. Y'all shake hands, gentlemen.
Teams from 25 years ago. At this time, we would like to call your attention as members of the 1969 Morristown Hamlet.
The first thing I'd like to do is congratulate both teams for getting this far, gentlemen. I compliment you on your accomplishment, and I wish you both the best of luck. Now, we're going to call you red, and we're going to call you white. If I have a penalty, I'll ask for a red or a white captain. I will give you the options of the penalty. If you do not understand those options, then tell me. I will explain them again. I have to take your first choice, okay? All right, you are the visiting team. Who will call the toss? You will. Okay, Mr. Bragg is going to toss the coin, call it in the air, and we're going to let it hit the ground. Please call it loudly. All right, go ahead. Heads. He called heads. Okay, it is a head. You can kick, receive, defend a goal, or defer your choice. You will receive. Which way will you kick, sir? Okay, you want to kick this way. If you'll back up over there, if you'll come over here with me, please. John, will you get my coin? I'm sorry. We have the white team receive. Shake hands. Thank you very much.
Set to kickoff is number 87, Cody Lanphier, a sophomore for Riverdale. Deep to receive is Archie Howell and David Grogan for Lincoln County. It's coming short and is going to go out of bounds at about the 21-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown. They will have the option of either kicking over or getting the ball at the 35-yard line, and Lincoln County will discuss or consider their options, and we'll hear from the official about their decision. Looks like they're going to put the ball in play at the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lincoln County. Let's set the Lincoln County offense. The tackles are Lee Ellis and Lance Kelly. Daniel Tarpley and Danny Lowe are the guards, and Eddie Mills is the center. The quarterback is Shelby Parker. The backs are Eric Lane and Kevin Henderson. The split end is Josh Bedingfield. The flanker, David Grogan, and the tight end, Jacob Sorrells. The give is to Henderson. He eludes one tackler in the backfield, and he's got room to the 40 and the 45 and knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And that's enough for a 1st and 10 for Lincoln County on the first play from scrimmage against the Murfreesboro Riverdale defense. The Riverdale Warriors have Marcus Smith, David Coppins, Greg Smith, Josh Robinson, and Demetrius Wilson across the front. The linebackers are Corey Carney, Larry Floyd, Antron Peebles, and the defensive backs are Alvin Duke, Fernando Bryant, and Kenny McGowan. Lincoln County comes up 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line after an 11-yard gain on 1st down. The give is to Henderson once again, and he finds good room off the left side once again and goes into Riverdale Warrior territory to the 47-yard line, and that's going to be about 3 yards short of another 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Just underway in the Class 5A Clinic Bowl, the state championship game for Tennessee, the first ever Class 5A championship game, as Tennessee has gone to 5 classifications this year.
In the first 2 plays, we get a good look at Kevin Henderson and his ability. He was an all-Middle Tennessee selection, an all-region selection at running back.
Parker drops back to pass, looking for Grogan. Jump ball is won by whom? Grogan. Good coverage out there on the defense by number 25, Fernando Bryant, but Grogan is a good bit bigger than him and just went up and took it away from him, and Bryant wrestled him to the turf at the 22-yard line. We're to be 1st and 10 for Lincoln County. Great adjustment by David that time, coming back to the ball and making the reception. He had 18 catches during the season and playoffs for 337 yards. He's very talented. You'll see him on the defensive side of the ball, and you'll see him run the ball a little bit. Straight T formation is broken now. 2 receivers go to the left, and they give it to Henderson, and that time coming through there first of all was Greg Smith, the nose guard, in the center of that defensive line, and he was the first man to hit Henderson actually in the backfield, but Henderson was able to make it forward to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Got a little bit of help from Josh Robinson and the rest of the interior line. 2nd and 10 for Lincoln County. Threatening to score here in the early going of the state championship game. They go to 4 wideouts, 2 right, 2 left. Henderson stands as the lone running back. The give is to him right up the middle of that line, and knifing in from the right side first to hit him was a speedy defender. I can't see who is getting up. I believe it's number 6 getting up off the bottom of the pile, Marcus Smith, who came in from the right side of that defense and got Henderson before he could really get going very well. He did pick up about 2 yards, maybe 3, down to the 19-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8. There's a whistle, and the officials are asking for timeout. It seems to be an equipment problem for a Riverdale Warrior. Now they've got things fixed, and we're back underway. It'll be 3rd and about 7 from the 19-yard line for Lincoln County. Parker looks over his receivers, runs the option left, pitches to Henderson, trying to get wide, and running him out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Number 3, Corey Carney, came up to force the play wide, and number 1, Kenny McGowan, ran his likeness, number 1, Henderson of Lincoln County, out of bounds after a loss of 1. And so it'll be 4th down and 8 from the 20-yard line. 9:14 to go, just underway here in the first quarter of the state championship game. Again, they stay with the same formation that they've used on most of the plays in this drive. Quick snap count. Grogan with the screen across the middle. He's got room in the middle, looking down to the 6-yard line where number 24, Duke, Alvin Duke, came to upend him there. But a well-conceived screen play to Grogan, who had lined up in the slot on the right side and just dragged in across the middle, and Parker found him. There is an injured Riverdale Warrior at about the 27-yard line.
Well, you pointed it out. It was a great play call for that situation, and he got some good blocking downfield and allowed him to pick up the 1st down.
Hi, I'm Mac Ross. I'm a junior. Go Falcons! Hi, I'm Angel Eastlick, and I'm a senior at Lake County High School. Go Falcons are number 1! Hi, I'm Chandra, and I'm a sophomore. You can do it, Falcons, let's go! I'm Stacey Tyler, I'm a sophomore. Let's go, Falcons! Sarah, I'm a senior, let's go, Falcons! Hi, I'm Sarah, sophomore, let's go! My name's Kristen, and I'm a senior at Lincoln County High School. Let's go, Big Blue! My name's Julie Weber, and I'm a junior at Lincoln County High School. Falcons are number 1! Hi, my name's Carla Badenhoff, and I'm a sophomore at LCHS. We're number 1! Hi, my name is Julie Strauss, and I'm a junior at Lincoln County High School. Go, Falcons! Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
1st and goal to go from the 6-yard line for the Lincoln County Falcons. They've taken the opening kickoff and gone down the field. Now they give it to Henderson, trying the left side, still on his feet, gets down to about the 2, maybe even the 1-yard line, but there is a penalty flag on the play. The preliminary indication seems to be illegal motion from the official.
Illegal motion on the offense. Repeat first.
It's still 1st and goal, but it will be from the 11-yard line for Lincoln County after the illegal motion penalty pushes them back 5 yards. They still have 4 shots at it, and they are definitely in field goal range, even though they are on the left hash mark. The give is up the middle. I think that was Shannon Haston. I couldn't tell. Number 35, perhaps?
Great tackle by Marcus Smith. Met him almost immediately for a short gain.
Got down to the 9, a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal to go from the 9. I formation. Parker looked past and then handed it off on the delay. The ball is fumbled, and it is recovered on the 1 4-foot line by Lincoln County. The ball came loose when Henderson was hit at about the 4, and it popped forward, and one of the offensive linemen, it could have been number 72, Lance Kelly, down there to recover it. And he sort of wanted to worm his way into the end zone, but the official called him down just outside the stripe.
Well, you're right, it was Lance Kelly, and it was really heads-up play on his part to be looking for the ball and keeping his head up. He does recover it for the Falcons.
Shelby Parker. Touchdown, Lincoln County. The quarterback sneaks behind Eddie Mills, his center, and he took it across the goal line to give Lincoln County a 6-0 lead with 7:19 to go in the first period of action. On to attempt the extra point for Lincoln County is James Couch. It's a good snap and a good hold, and Couch's kick is up, and his kick is good. And so as the first quarter of action has gone about halfway through, Lincoln County has taken a 7-0 lead over the Riverdale Warriors.
King County scoring drive, 11 plays, 65 yards. Parker goes in from 1 yard out on the quarterback sneak. The big play was the 4th down screen from Parker to Grogan.
Todd Brown set to kick off for Lincoln County. It's a low squibber, and it's going to be picked up at about the 16-yard line by an up back there. Number 25, Fernando Bryant, running right with it now, has a block at the 35 to the 40 and out to the 42-yard line, where Franklin Olive was there, along with number 10 for Lincoln County, Rod March, and also number 3, Terrence McLean.
My name's Ben Wood. I'm a junior at Riverdale. My name's Chief Winnemah.
My name's Dirty Baker. I'm a senior. I'm captain. Let's go, Warriors!
Carney fakes to the first man through and keeps it on the option. Runs left, and he's tackled across the 45-yard line. Let's meet the Riverdale Warrior offense. Josh Robinson is the center. Joel Young and Greg Smith are the guards. David Coppins and Jeff Lee are the tackles. The tight ends are Alvin Duke and Antron Peebles, and the split end is Gerald Griffin. The flanker is Fernando Bryant. Corey Carney is the quarterback, and Marikas Williams and Kenny McGowan are the running backs. They'll use various combinations of those players, split ends, flankers, tight ends, running backs, as the game progresses. McGowan pitches to Griffin. Griffin looks for the corner but can't get there, as Lincoln County had stayed at home, and that defense, which is led by Coy Sisk in the middle, Stanley Kroom and Danny Lowe the tackles, the ends Fernando Cannon and Mark Fiorita, the linebackers Chad Henderson and Carlos Hadley that we talked about earlier, the cornerbacks Franklin Olive and Archie Howell, and the safeties David Grogan and Terrence McLean. Good job of pursuit by the Lincoln County Falcons.
Very well played by Fiorita on the corner over here.
It'll be 3rd and about 8 from the 44-yard line for Riverdale. Give us to McGowan, trying the left side. Gets one block, but the pursuit of Lincoln County catches up with him. A good block thrown out there by number 50 for Riverdale, who was in the game. Greg Smith, the left guard, but it wasn't enough to spring McGowan for the first down. He gained out to the 48-yard line. It'll be 4th and 4.
The pursuit you were talking about was led by Terrence McLean, as he was giving credit for the tackle.
Griffin is the punter, Gerald Griffin. Good snap. The punt is away. A fair catch is asked for and taken on a hop by David Grogan, Mr. Football in Class 5A, at the 14-yard line with 5:19 to go in the first quarter of action.
The ball at their own 14.
Parker comes to the line with Archie Howell in the slot and Josh Bedingfield split wide to the left. The give is instead to the tailback, Kevin Henderson, and he runs it from the 14 out to almost the 17-yard line. In fact, he almost got to the 18-yard line. The ball is placed on the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 4, 2nd and 6.
Another tackle by Marcus Smith, and we've already called his name quite a few times here in the early going. Nice block by Shannon Halston to allow Henderson to get the yards that he did get on that particular play.
Give is to Henderson. He gets outside, turns the corner, and gets close to the first down yardage. There was a good stick on the corner that time by the Warriors, but he might have made it far enough for the first down, and the official says that yes, he did. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Lincoln County as they pick up a first down at the 25-yard line with 4:13 to go in the first quarter.
You saw some of the speed of Kevin Henderson as he was able to get to the corner, and the hit you were talking about was by Fernando Bryant, who's an all-region defensive back, and when he hit him, he stopped him. There was no forward momentum.
Very impressive hit by the DB. 1st and 10, give to Henderson again, and there wasn't much there, and so he just put his pads down and was diving forward. Tripping him up there was number 88, Demetrius Wilson. He came in from the defensive end and got Henderson tripped up, and Henderson was able to dive forward for about a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And really a heads-up play to get what he could, because there wasn't much there, as you pointed out, and he just put his pads down and got what he could.
Parker gives on the delay to Henderson, and Henderson spins forward. The ball came out, but the play was whistled dead at the 30-yard line after a gain of about 2. Well, it's out to the 31-yard line, a gain of 3, so it'll be 3rd and 4. They have to get to just about the 35-yard stripe in order to pick up the first down. Greg Smith was one of the tacklers in on the play for Riverdale. Throw it to Grogan out in the flat, and he's trying to make some yardage off the right side, and he does. I don't know, that almost looked like a lateral there as the pass was thrown right down the line of scrimmage from Shelby Parker to David Grogan, and Grogan knew what to do with it when he got it. He took it across the 35 to the 36, and that's enough for a first down for Lincoln County, and they're keeping the ball away from this potent Warrior offense.
Well, the Riverdale defense did a good job closing, but there you saw a situation where Grogan's size and strength enabled him to get the extra yard for the first down.
And there was Greg Smith once again. We've already called his name 2 or 3 times in the early going here as he upended the fullback Haston, who got the ball and actually lost about a yard on the play back to the 35. It'll be 2nd and 11. Second and 11 for Lincoln County. Howell is in the slot to the left. Stout is split out to the right. Bedingfield is the end on the left, but they give it to Henderson once again, and he goes from the 35 out to the 40, a pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Tackle by Antron Peoples for the Warriors.
Henderson already has amassed 11 carries unofficially for 45 yards, and a great first quarter, still 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the period. His team leads 7-0 over Riverdale. beautiful evening for football here in Nashville. Very chilly temperatures outside, about 35, 36 degrees at game time. And there goes Henderson again, getting enough for the first down out to the 46-yard line, I believe. And the official indicates it is enough for a first down with the ball touching the, actually just outside the 46-yard line, and 50 seconds to go in the period.
And in this first period, we've seen that Lincoln County has the ability, when they run their offense, to control the clock and control the football. They've just been excellent here in the first quarter.
Lincoln County is going into a breeze that is alternately light and stiff, as much as 15 miles an hour. They're going long to David Grogan, and Fernando Bryant did a brilliant job of coverage there as Grogan had gotten behind him. And really, Parker threw a pretty good pass there, but Bryant just made a good break on the ball and dove to slap it away at the last instant.
As you pointed out, just a great play because the execution for the offense was there. The defense just out-executed the offense on that particular play.
Well, really, everybody did what they were supposed to do that time. Shelby Parker put the ball where only his player could catch it, and the defensive back did everything in his power to knock it away, and the pass fell incomplete. 29 seconds to go in the period with the clock stopped, and now the receivers are left and right, and the give is to Henderson. He gets to the corner. McGowan chasing him and pulls him down at the 41-yard line, and that's again enough for a first down, and there's a late flag that came in that's been dropped about the 39. Preliminary indication is face mask violation, and that will be tacked on to the run, I believe.
Excellent run by Henderson. The ability to kick out, and it makes some extra yards. I think he even used a stiff arm there to free himself. Just a beautiful run. Very gifted athlete.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. First down.
19 seconds to go, and the clock is wound. When they get this play underway, it will probably be the last play of the quarter unless it is an incomplete pass. 8 seconds to go now. First and 10 from the 26, 27-yard line. They give it in there to Haston, and he gets down to the 25, but that's all. As the first period comes to a close, Lincoln County has taken a 7-0 lead over Murfreesboro Riverdale. Coach, your reflections on the first quarter of action.
Well, Lincoln County has used a balanced attack to control the football, but on 3rd and 4th downs, they go to Grogan for the big play.
Here, this time Parker throws it out in the flat to Haston, and he takes it all the way in for the 25-yard touchdown pass on the little flare pass out to Haston, and just ran it down the right side. It was very well blocked, very well executed. There was some pressure coming from the backside on the quarterback, but he got a good block from Henderson, I believe, to knock off the defender, and then they took it all the way in for the score. Frankly, it didn't look like that play was going to develop all that well, but once he caught the ball and turned the corner, it was turn out the lights for Riverdale.
There's a good example of what the running game will do for you there. The running game really set up that pass for Lincoln County. Obviously, Riverdale is going to have to start controlling the football and keeping the ball away from Lincoln County and use their speed offensively. Lincoln County in the first quarter ran 23 plays to Riverdale's 4. So Lincoln County is definitely doing what they want to do. Their defense, the time they were on defense, had great backside pursuit. So definitely the things are going Lincoln County's way right now.
Todd Brown's extra point makes it 14-0 Lincoln County.
Down drive for Lincoln County, 12 plays, 86 yards. The touchdown coming on a 25-yard pass from Parker to Haston.
And Brown kicks off deep. It goes a yard into the end zone and then bounds all the way through the end zone for a touchback. And so Murfreesboro Riverdale will put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 20. And they're going to try to get something going here, trailing by 2 touchdowns and 2 conversions to the #1 team in the state and one of the most powerful teams in the nation.
I want to go back to the touchdown pass because there was a great block downfield we didn't get a chance to talk about, but number 84, Jacob Sorrells, made a great block that enabled the play to work.
Riverdale comes to the line now with their I formation. Henderson tried to dive through there and mess up the whole play, but he wasn't able to do so. Nonetheless, Kenny McGowan is stopped after a gain of only 2 from the 20 out to the 22. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
A lot of Falcons on the tackle. There was Carlos Hadley, Stanley Kroom. Just a good job of pursuit by the Falcons.
Alvin Duke is in there at tailback now with Maricus Williams at fullback. Carney is under center, takes the snap, and runs the option right. Pitches to Duke, and he's got some room on the right side, but a good defensive play that time. Coming up was number 2, Archie Griffin, to knock it, Archie Howell, excuse me, to knock down the running back who had really gotten a pretty good head of steam. And Howell laid a lick on him and stopped him just about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, you saw the speed and the acceleration of Alvin Duke. He was coming through with a head of steam. He led this team in rushing this year with over 700 yards, about a 7-yard per carry average.
Third and 1, and this is big from the standpoint of momentum for Riverdale to try to sustain this drive and have an opportunity to keep playing here in the on this particular possession. As the running back McGowan hit the turf, the ball came free. And it's Lincoln County's football.
Stanley Kroom comes out with the football.
McGowan was hit at the 29-yard line, and the ball popped out, and McGowan makes the big play, and Lincoln County is threatening to make a rout of it. They'll put it in play 1st and 10 with 10 minutes to go in the half from the Warrior 30-yard line. Parker drops back to pass. He's looking for it all on 1st down. The player Grogan is there, and it's a touchdown for David Grogan from Shelby Parker. And he passes out in the back of the end zone. David Grogan, Mr. Football, catches the 30-yard bomb from Parker and scores for Lincoln County to make it 20-0, and there is a flag in the end zone.
Just a great throw by Parker, and then Grogan's concentration to watch the ball in. Tremendous touchdown pass.
The indication of the official was that there was a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Lincoln County. And so they'll have to try the extra point attempt as a 35-yard field goal. The extra point is going to come up short. Attempting that extra point was James Couch. I think earlier I said that Todd Brown had been successful on the extra point, but it was Couch who had kicked both of the first two. And so with 9:45 to go in the half, Lincoln County leads Riverdale 20-0.
A touchdown drive, one play, 30 yards, Shelby Parker to David Grogan. So far in the game, Shelby Parker is 5 of 6 for 100 yards. David Grogan, 4 catches for 75 yards.
Brown kicks it to McGowan at the 7, and he looks up the middle, runs over one man at the 25, and lowers his head and gets out to the 30-yard line, where Murfreesboro Riverdale will try to get a little something going.
The tackle was made by Todd Brown.
Looks like Maricus Williams and Duke in the backfield for Riverdale. 2 tight ends. The give is up the middle to Williams, and he's got good yardage out to the 38-yard line. And as he was about to struggle to fight free, Grogan came up and finished off what some of his teammates had started there and really laid a lick on Williams.
In addition to the big 8-yard gain, he did a good job in protecting the football, too, because Lincoln County was really tackling the ball, trying to strip it, create another turnover.
nearly gained 9 yards on the play as the ball is between the 38 and the 40. It'll be second and about 1.5. Given the option to Williams again, and there to meet him at the bottom of the pile, big Chad Henderson. All 6'3", 245 pounds of him, and he is just a junior. His fellow linebacker Carlos Hadley also was there to help out on the stop, but there was no gain for Williams as it is still 3rd and 1, and they must get to the 40-yard line for the first down.
And Coach Thompson loves to talk about his linebackers. He says that in his years of coaching, they're the best 2 he's ever had.
Quick pitch out there to number 24, Duke, and he turns the corner and picks up the first down for Riverdale. And that may be their first down of the game. Unofficially, that is what we believe is to be their first down of the game, and it comes with 7:59 to go in the first quarter. So complete has been the domination of the Lincoln County front wall at this point.
Franklin Olive came up and made the tackle from his defensive back position.
But now what kind of a lift would it be for Riverdale to take this ball on down the field and score here just before the half and have an opportunity to get themselves back in this football game?
Well, they are a team that's very capable of scoring. They've averaged 26 points per game, and you don't get this far without some weapons and some ability to do some things right.
Reverse, and Fernando Bryant reverses back the other way, and he's still on his feet, and that's an exciting run of about 8 yards. He was virtually trapped back at the 30-yard line or near the 30-yard line, and as he had come on the reverse from across the field, he decided to reverse his field and go back across the way, and really found pretty good yardage there to make it 2nd and 2.
Shaking up on the play a little bit for Lincoln County was Carlos Hadley, and he does go off the field on his own power. He's being looked at now by the trainers, and hopefully he'll be able to return.
Replacing him is number 48, Eric Lane, a 6'1", 180 senior. Number 48. 2 tight ends, and since they've gone to this 2 tight end set, they've moved the ball a little more effectively against the Lincoln County defense. And there is a misdirection play. Handoff given up the middle to Marcus Smith, and he got enough for the first down and more down to the 46-yard line, and now Riverdale has got a little bit of momentum going as the clock is stopped briefly for the moving of the chains, and it will be rewound from 6:40 as soon as they get those chains moved. Riverdale now with a split back look. Maricus Williams is the back directly behind Carney. He fades to throw and throws it high and over the head of Gerald Griffin, intended for him down at about the 35-yard line. A correction, about the 40-yard line, but that ball just sailed on Carney and went high over everyone's head. And I guess from Riverdale's standpoint, the best thing about that is that it stops the clock, and the clock is going to be an important ally of Lincoln County, not only for the rest of this half, but for the second half as well. Griffin is left, and Bryant is split right. Hadley, who's back in the game now, came on the blitz or faked the blitz, and the screen is set up out here to Duke, and he got by the first defender and took it all the way down to the 22-yard line. He eluded number 83 for Lincoln County, who is in the game playing defense, Walt Patrick, a 6'4", 191-pound senior, ran right by him after a juke and then took it all the way down to the 32-yard line, and that's enough for another first down for Riverdale. And you almost knew that they weren't going to hold this Riverdale Warrior offense down forever.
Well, I think the play calling the last 2 plays has been excellent for Riverdale, too. They're trying some things and trying to loosen Lincoln County up a little bit, and it's working.
That pass was intended over the middle for number 81 for Riverdale, Antron Peebles, but one of the linemen or linebackers got his hand on the ball near the line of scrimmage and deflected it away, and it falls incomplete with 5:49 to go in the half.
It looked to me like Chad Henderson might have been the player who got his hand up and deflected the pass.
Second and 10 Kearney has Duke as the tailback behind him, fakes to the fullback, pitches it to Duke, and there's nothing there except Lincoln County defenders and a penalty flag on the play.
Terrence McLean came in and did a great job playing the run.
The preliminary indication, as you saw, was holding against Riverdale. It'll either be 3rd and 9 or 10 from that point, or it'll be 2nd and 20. And let's hear the official decision.
Holding offense, repeat 2nd down.
So the ball is moved back to the 42-yard line. They've got to get down to about the 22-yard line, just outside the 22-yard line. So it will be 2nd down and 20 for this Riverdale Warrior offense. Into the game at wide receiver number 4, Marcus Malone. He's split far to the right. The other sophomore, Gerald Griffin, is to the left. Kearney gives on the draw to McGowan. He finds some room on the left side, gets outside. He's got a blocker out there in Griffin and turns it upfield and gets all the way down to the 24, maybe even the 23-yard line. A big, big play by Kenny McGowan as he took the handoff on the delay or the draw and took it down to the 24-yard line, about 2 yards short of a first down. Give him 18 on the play. He got a good block on the corner by Gerald Griffin, the sophomore receiver defensive back, and was able to take it upfield and get most of what he needed for the first down, but there's still a tough 2 yards to go.
It looks like he needs to get right to the 22-yard line to get this first down.
Kearney fakes the pitch to the left and gives it off the, or to the right, and gives it off the left side to Marcus Smith, the fullback. The flow and the tailback went to the right. The fullback and the handoff went to the left. And Marcus Smith takes it down to the 21, almost the 20-yard line, where that'll be enough for a 1st and 10 for Riverdale with 4:31 to go. From Lincoln County's perspective, though, Riverdale has gotten some offense going. They're at least making them earn their way, and they're not allowing the big, explosive, long plays that Riverdale is so capable of.
Well, that's what Coach Thompson said when we talked to him, is they've got to stop the big play, and so far they've been able to do that. Riverdale's having some success now at running the ball, but they are not giving it up in big chunks.
Kearney wanted to run the option, but one of the defenders, it could have been Henderson or it could have been Fiorita, knifed through there and actually knocked the blocker back into Kearney and sort of messed up the option. So Kearney just grabbed the ball and tucked in behind the defender, or rather the blocker, and took what he could get, which was virtually nothing except the line of scrimmage, and so it'll be 2nd and 10. .335 to go in the first half. Riverdale trails by 20. Whistle and delay of game is going to be the call against Riverdale. Coppins returns to the lineup after Chuck Harris had given him a rest. Peoples goes in motion, and they run the option left to the short side of the field. McGowan breaks through the first wall of defenders, but hanging on is number 2, Archie Howell, and pulling him down at the 18-yard line. Might have gotten just a little bit beyond. Mark it at the 17. It'll be 3rd down and 6 after the pickup by McGowan.
Tough run by McGowan. You know, he's known mostly as a defensive player and a hitter, but right there you saw some of his toughness as a running back. He's run for over 700 yards this year for this ball club. So he's a very talented football player, both sides of the football.
And it's 3rd and 6 or 7 yards to go for Riverdale. Duke goes in motion. Fake on the delay. Kearney drops the football. There's a battle for it. Still free on the turf, and it looks like Lincoln County has recovered, and they have out at the 31-yard line. with 2:14 to go, just about the time that Riverdale had gotten it down in position where they could threaten to score. Kearney was rolling out right, probably with a pass-run type option, and just looked like he dropped the ball.
Well, Lincoln County's had the ball 3 possessions prior to this when they've scored every time. Riverdale obviously cannot afford to give up any more points here in this ball game.
With the 2-minute mark of the first half, Parker zips it out in the flat to Grogan. He lowers his head and runs out to the 38-yard line. A pickup of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3 with 1:45 to go in the half. They hurry up the offense with no huddle. 4 receivers still in the game. Parker relaying the message to his receivers.
Well, we've seen the balance that we expected out of Lincoln County, and a team that can both run and throw is very hard to defend. And right now, Lincoln County's got Riverdale guessing.
Parker's pass was intended for Bedingfield, but it was thrown low and behind him, and it went into the turf. And so with 1:27 to go, the clock is stopped at 3rd and 3. If you're Riverdale right now, you want to have a stop. You want to be able to stop this powerful Lincoln County team at least once in the first half so that there'll be something to build on confidence-wise. The give on the delay up the middle to Henderson, and coming up to hit him and stop him was Antron Peoples, and I think he stopped him short of the first down, but he might have gotten out there far enough to make it. Going to be very close.
He had to get just past the 31-yard line, and that's about where he is. It is going to be very close.
They're going to call timeout with 1:09 to go and bring on the change for the measurement.
Well, as you pointed out, this would be a big stop for Riverdale because they had the opportunity to get the ball back with 3 timeouts and some time on the clock. So they still have opportunity to score this half if they could have stopped him on the measurement or on the first down try.
But they did not, and Riverdale does have all 3 timeouts left, as does Lincoln. The official has called for a timeout. And now the clock is wound and is running. The ball will be snapped with under a minute to play in the half. Parker looking long downfield for number 33, Franklin Oliver, and it's picked off. Picked off by Duke back at the 25, and there's that stop. There's that defensive stop that Riverdale wanted, and with 3 timeouts, 75 yards or so in front of them, and 48 seconds to go, they at least have an opportunity now to score.
Excellent play by Alvin Duke. He was an all-region defensive back. That's his 3rd interception of the year. And really a good job by Lincoln County, too. Let's give them some credit because they stopped Duke from having a big return. He's very capable of taking that ball back a long way.
The clock is running at 40 seconds to go in the half. Kearney gets under center and takes the snap, giving it to Maricus Williams up the middle. He goes from the 25 out to the 27-yard line, a pickup of about 2 on the play, and Riverdale now asks for a timeout. Riverdale on offense, 2nd and about 7 or 8 to go. Split back formation, and Kearney passed on this last time. He does this time to Griffin, eludes the first man, and he's gone on his way across midfield to the 45 before Grogan catches him and knocks him out of bounds to stop the clock with 16 seconds to go. But Griffin did a good job of eluding Archie Howell and getting up the sidelines and using the field to his best advantage, being run out of bounds at the 45 of Lincoln.
Well, great move to get himself free, and Griffin's been a very effective receiver this year for Riverdale. That's his 20th catch. He's now over 400 yards on the year.
Nathan Browning is into the game at a defensive back for Lincoln County. Number 11, the give on the delay to McGowan. He's got blockers in front of him. And coming through to mess up the interference, I think that was Henderson, Chad Henderson. Typically speaking, if there's a tackle on a running play, you can pretty well bet that Chad Henderson is going to be near that tackle. With 7 seconds to go, another timeout is asked for by Riverdale. 7 seconds and 1 timeout left for the Riverdale Warriors from the 38-yard line. Pass is picked off. Archie Howell got the deflection after Griffin tipped it up into the air. And as they went down on the return, there is a penalty flag thrown. No time is left on the clock.
Archie Howell intercepts that pass. There is a flag.
During the return on the white team, period will be extended by 1 untimed down.
Excellent reaction by Archie Howe to catch the deflection and turn it into a turnover for Lincoln County.
A little bit of a lesson about resiliency there. A moment ago, Griffin had caught a pass and had really faked Archie Howe very well and gotten by him. And that time, Archie Howe was the one who got the upper hand as Griffin tipped the ball up in the air, and Howell made a good interception down around his shoe tops and a good return. Draw up the middle. That could be Henderson. He bobbles the ball, and there to pick it up once again is the Lincoln County offensive lineman Lance Kelly, and that's the end of the first half with the score Lincoln County 20, Riverdale nothing.
County High School Band under the direction of Richard Bagwell. gentlemen, Riverdale High School band under the direction of Ron Mears.
Nashville Corporation of America Foundation, Northern Telecom.
Set to kick off for Lincoln County in the second half of action is number 20, Todd Brown. Deep to receive is McGowan, and Riverdale needs to make something happen in a hurry here, trailing 20-0. The kick goes to the left side to Griffin. He thought about pitching it back to McGowan, but took it instead on his own. And he's got good room up the middle. Gets all the way out to the 34-yard line before he's tackled by a host of Falcon defenders. What about the first half, Coach Lusk?
Well, Lincoln County has played the kind of half they wanted to. They've controlled the football, and they've gotten the big play out of Grogan when they needed it the most. Just outstanding defensive play. Each player being in position on the option, especially the defensive end and linebackers. Riverdale's shown they can control the football with the drive in the second quarter for over 7 minutes. But big turnovers have really hurt their cause. Riverdale must begin to stop some aspect here of the Lincoln County offense. And they need something big to happen for them early to get their momentum back. However, Lincoln County cannot rest. They can't afford to lay down and quit right here. They still have a second half to play.
The official stats for the first half. First downs, Lincoln County had 5. Murfreesboro Riverdale had 5. Rushes, 20 attempts for Lincoln County, 86 yards. Riverdale, 18 rushes, 66 yards. Passing, Lincoln County was 5 of 8 for 102 yards. Riverdale was 2 of 5 for 42 yards. Total offense, Lincoln County 188 yards, Riverdale 108. Individually, Kevin Henderson had 15 rushes for 77 yards. Shelby Parker was 5 of 8 passing. David Grogan had 4 receptions for 77 yards. For Riverdale individually, Alvin Duke had 3 attempts, 28 yards. Corey Carney was 2 of 5 for 42 yards. Alvin Duke caught 1 pass, and Gerald Griffin caught a pass.
On the first play from scrimmage, Carney kept it for 3, and then McGowan turned the corner and got out to the 50-yard line, and that's a first down for Riverdale, and it's a good start to the second half for the Warriors. Although the score is 20-0, they've certainly shown this entire year that they're explosive enough that they're not out of this game at all. The give is to Maricus Williams up the middle, and he gets down to about the 46, pick up a 4. Good yardage on first down for Riverdale.
Well, in the playoffs, I know in particular, they've had a very tough road, and they beat a very good Farragut team, a situation where they did not play very well the first half and came out in the second half playing very well. And as you know, last week in the semis, they beat a very good Oak Ridge team. So this team is very capable of putting points on the board, and I think there's a long way to go in this football game.
And as you've already pointed out, I believe they've won 13 games this year. Very impressive 13-1 record. Been ranked among the top 5 teams all year long. 2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line. Quick pitch to Duke, trying to get to the corner but can't. And a tremendous Lincoln County effort that time from number 55, Coy Sisk, the nose guard, who chased him down, and Chad Henderson was also there for the stop. He might have gotten a yard down to the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 5. He's got to get just a few inches shy of the 40 for the first down.
I'll tell you what, this Lincoln County defense is everything it was advertised to be. They're tough in the line. They've got great linebackers, and their secondary is just outstanding.
They've given up 69 points in 13 games. That's about 5.3 points per game. 5 games they've shut out their opponents, and 5 more games with 1 touchdown or less. Carney rips it out in the flat to Griffin, and Griffin tries to make a move, but a very sure tackle by Archie Howell, and Griffin has picked up the first down for Riverdale from the complete pass from Carney.
Excellent execution by Riverdale, and as you pointed out, the great tackle by Howell.
If that name sounds familiar, yes, he is the son of San Francisco 49er and former MTSU cornerback Don Griffin. He is now split wide to the right. The fake was to Maricus Williams up the middle. Carney keeps it and got a little bit in a seam there to the right. He was thinking about a pitch to Duke, but he did not pitch it. And picked up about 3 on first down to the 36. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Tackled by Terrence McLean and Chad Henderson, and this is the kind of drive Riverdale needed. They wanted to come out moving the football, and so far they've accomplished that with a couple first downs here.
an outstanding effort by Lincoln County in the first half, and I'm sure their challenge at halftime, the staff of the Lincoln County Warriors, was to keep this team fired up and keep them motivated to play. Chad Henderson got through there and got the quarterback, but a whistle blew, and he might have violated the neutral zone.
Try to time the snap, and it looks to be a little bit early.
What a great crowd has gathered here from both of these communities. Fayetteville in Lincoln County has brought what must be most of the town here across the way. They virtually fill the stands. And then on the near side, Murfreesboro Riverdale is very well supported as well. Second and about 2 to give us to Duke, Maricus Williams, and he got past the first down stick inside the 25 down to the 24, and that's enough for a 1st and 10 for Riverdale, and they are on the march. Although these two teams did not play each other in the regular season, they are no strangers. They had played each other 21 consecutive years before this season, and how interesting it is that they meet in the state finals for the championship of Class 5A, the very first 5A championship in Tennessee. 1st and 10 from the 24 for Riverdale. Carney fakes to Smith, pitches out to Duke in the flat. Pretty good job of playing off the block that time by number 33, Olive. And then coming to help out was 46, Fernando Cannon from his defensive end spot. Pick up a 4 on the play, and without the good effort by Olive out there on the corner, it could have been much more.
Well, excellently timed pitch, and the defensive execution, as you pointed out, kept that from being a big gain. But 4 yards on 1st down does put Riverdale in a situation they're much more comfortable in, obviously, in trying to run their offense, rather than 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9.
The give is to Marcus Smith. He tries the left side. I believe that play was designed to go up inside, but he bounced it outside a little bit and picked up a couple of yards down to the 18.
Well, if this situation in the game with this score, they're obviously in 4-down territory, so they do have two downs to make this 5 yards.
This is just about the point on the field at the opposite end of the stadium where the Murfreesboro Riverdale drive stalled in the 2nd quarter, that 7-minute drive that Coach Luss talked about a moment ago. And so we'll see if that same mentality comes back to haunt them here. Different formation, 2 receivers left, 1 right, 2 backs in the backfield, and Bryant comes in motion. He could be a pitch man here. The option is run to the right. Carney wanted to pitch it, but couldn't. And coming from the backside was number 34, Mark Fiorita. Also there was the defensive end on the short side of the field, Fernando Cannon. And guess who? Chad Henderson was also in on the play.
A great pursuit by Mark to really run the play down, and Ford had a chance to develop. I never got a chance to get a good look at the pitch man.
Whistle, and it looks like that with 5 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Riverdale has called for a timeout. And 5, big play in the football game. Riverdale's hopes of keeping this drive alive rest on this play. Carney wants to pitch it, can't. Fiorita from the backside sacks him. Also coming through from defensive tackle was Danny Lowe to put pressure on Carney. He was looking for a receiver on the right, but couldn't find one. And so with 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go, the ball's at the 23-yard line, and Lincoln County will have it 1st and 10. Unofficially, that drive consumed about 13 plays in almost 7 minutes on the clock, but it came to nothing for Riverdale. And Henderson gets the ball off the right side, and there is a penalty marker down at the point of tackle.
Kevin Henderson is the ball carrier. There's a flag.
Preliminary indication is holding against Lincoln County.
Holding on the offense, repeat first down.
Give Henderson a gain of 3 and then step off the 10-yard penalty to make it first and about 17 from the 16-yard line.
In the first half, Lincoln County had the ball 4 times, and they were very efficient in their offense, scoring on 3 of those 4 possessions. Obviously, Riverdale cannot afford for Lincoln County to score, nor can they afford for them to take a long drive and take a lot of time off the clock.
And that time, as Henderson tried the right side, coming through there to mess up the play was number 8, Larry Floyd, a linebacker for Riverdale, and very short gain of only about a yard for Henderson, who has just played an outstanding game, Kevin Henderson, for Lincoln County. Unofficially, 17 carries with 81 yards in the game to this point. Reverse is given to Grogan. Gets a block on the corner from the lineman, number 63, Danny Lowe, but couldn't turn the corner as the Riverdale Warrior defense stayed at home and knocked him down just shy of the 20-yard line. A pickup of 2, 3rd and 13 with 3:35 to go in the third quarter.
Played very well by Alvin Duke. That play seemed to be set up for more yards than that, but he would have none of it. I like the way they use Grogan in this offense, though. They find a lot of different ways to utilize his abilities, and he's very effective.
Stout is to the left. In motion is Howell. The give is up the middle to Henderson, and the Riverdale Warrior defense is fired up. It looks like in their first possession of the second half that Lincoln County is going to have to punt, and the holding penalty really hurt their possibilities there, as it will be 4th down and 12 from the 21-yard line.
Good job by David Coppins there on the defense, getting some pressure, stopping the play for a short gain.
Back to receive the punt for Riverdale is Alvin Duke, the tailback and defensive back who has played an outstanding game to this point. The punt is almost blocked, but it is gotten away, and it takes a Riverdale bounce and comes back inside the 40-yard line to about the 39 with 2:36 to go in the third quarter. Yard punt, no return. They were kicking into what breeze there is left blowing on this cold December evening, but the pressure had just about as much to do with the brevity of that punt as did the wind. 1st and 10 from the 39 for Riverdale. Duke in motion. Fake is to Smith. Carney wants to throw it downfield, overthrown and almost picked off. Almost picked off by Franklin Olive. Had his hands on the ball. Grogan also broke on the ball, and actually Grogan may have messed up the line of vision of Olive just a little bit. And also the receiver, who was Fernando Bryant in the pattern, made a good effort toward the ball, and he probably played a little bit of defense offensively that time.
I'll tell you something else that messed up the pass, and that's Danny Lowe putting the pressure on the quarterback. Did a great job in the backfield.
And that's where your defensive your pass defense really starts, is in the rush. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Carney fakes the draw to McGowan. Got plenty of time. Now the pressure begins to get to him. He passes it to Peebles across the middle, complete. A well-thrown ball, as Carney had plenty of time to look things over and give Peebles the opportunity to get downfield. And it's enough for a 16-yard gain and a 1st down for Murfreesboro Riverdale.
Well, the key, as you pointed out, was the blocking up front. It gave Carney time to look downfield and find the receiver and feel very comfortable as he let go of the football.
And the play-action fake to McGowan also throws the defensive lineman for just a split second and allowed him to zip the pass in their own time to Peebles. 1st and 10 from the 23. Give is to Maricus Williams, who is at tailback that time. He usually lines up as a fullback in this offense, but Marcus Smith was the fullback, and Maricus Williams, who is a 6 foot, 200+ pound back himself, pounded it in there for a pickup of about 3 down to the 20. It'll be 2nd and 7 with 1:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still 20-0 Lincoln, but Riverdale has spent most of this half threatening. Henderson cheats up. Pass was intended for the tight end, Peebles. It was thrown a little bit high and over the head of Peebles, and the defensive back coming up really had the best shot at it, Terrence McLean, but it was incomplete, and so it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 20-yard line.
Good job by the Riverdale offensive line in picking up the blitz by Henderson and did give him some time to throw the ball. Unfortunately, just a little bit overthrown.
Big 3rd down play here at the 20-yard line. Carney runs the option right. Keeps wanted to pitch at the last minute, but couldn't. He got down to near the 18-yard line, but that's going to be well short of the 1st down, and they went for it on 4th and 4 or 5 a moment ago, and you can expect them to do the same here.
Down at the bottom of that tackle was Danny Lowe, again coming up big here on the defensive line.
Lincoln County has had the ball for only 5 plays and only about 2.5+ minutes in this quarter, but so far they've not given up any points to the Riverdale Warriors. Probably the last play of the 3rd quarter as less than 10 seconds remain. Carney pumps once, throws a screen out to the right. Griffin has it. Lowe got in the way. The 4th down pass is complete down to the 11-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down and a big play by Griffin on the 4th down conversion. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with Lincoln County 20, Riverdale still nothing. The last 12 minutes of play in Class 5A for 1993 are about to begin as Carney gets the snap and gives it to Marcus Smith up the middle. He takes it from the 11 down to about the 8-yard line, where he's piled up there by the Lincoln County defense. It'll be 2nd down and approximately 7 yards to go from the 8-yard line. They can get a 1st down just inside the 1. Coach Lusk, what are some of the things you saw about the 3rd quarter of action?
Well, Lincoln County was very conservative at the time they had the ball, keeping the ball on the ground, even when they had some long yardage to pick up on 3rd down. Riverdale's done an excellent job controlling the football. Had 2 big drives here, but they're going to have to pass more just to open up the run, but more than anything for the time factor.
Option pitch to the left. Duke has it. He's got good room on the right, but coming in to close very quickly that time was Chad Henderson, pursuing from the inside out, and the speedy Duke was caught at the 5-yard line around the ankles, and it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
You know, after the game has got going here, Riverdale's done a good job moving the ball. This is their 3rd good drive in the game, and in fact, when you look at the statistics and total offense, it's very even. Lincoln County 196 yards, Riverdale 186 yards unofficially through the 3rd quarter.
Lincoln County had called a timeout there with 10:52 to go to regroup their defense. Riverdale threatening, tight end on the right, slot man right. Pitches to Duke. He's got some room at the 5, down to the 3, and was knocked down at the 2. Looks like he's about a yard, maybe a good yard, short of the 1st down. And again, we have a 4th and 1 situation for Riverdale to try to keep this drive alive. They did it a moment ago with a screen pass to Griffin from Carney, and now they've got about a yard to go for the 1st.
A great job by Danny Lowe coming in and making the tackle and preventing the touchdown. Danny is an all-region defensive tackle, had 92 tackles this year and 2 sacks.
Coming into the game for Riverdale in a power I formation. Number 8, Larry Floyd, the linebacker, and Maricus Williams is the standing tailback. They give it to him, and he's caught behind the line by the defensive end, number 34, Mark Fiorita, at the 2-yard line. Might not have been a loss, but it certainly was no gain. And so with 10:02 to go in the football game, Lincoln County has turned Riverdale away once again.
Just great defense. A situation where Lincoln County has given up some yardage here in the third quarter, but they have not allowed Riverdale to cross their goal line for points. A kind of bend but don't break philosophy.
Well, one of the things they've certainly been able to do the entire game is contain the Riverdale defense. And I think earlier we noted that the longest play of the game had been a 28-yard pass in the first quarter, or in the first half, to Griffin. And that's about all in terms of big plays that Riverdale's been able to muster. That time the give was to Henderson, I believe. Correction, that is Haston who got the handoff. And he took it from the 2 to the 3, 2nd down and 9 with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the football game.
The tackle for Riverdale was number 70, David Coppins, and Marcus Smith, number 6.
Henderson is the standing tailback. Parker drops back to pass, wants to go to number 80, Bedingfield. The pass is incomplete. And we talked a moment ago about the conservative play in the second half of Lincoln County, but that time Parker dropped back into the end zone, his own end zone, and lofted the pass in the direction of Bedingfield. It was overthrown, and while that was maybe something of a daring call from the standpoint of being in his own end zone, the pass was safely over the head of everyone, including the defender.
Well, that's a great point. And I think you can try that kind of play when you have a quarterback of Shelby Parker's status, a senior who's had a great year and knows the game. He knows that if there's anything there to throw it where only his man has a chance of catching, and that's what he did.
In his own end zone again, the pass is complete to Archie Howell, who had gone down and broken in front of the defender, and the ball was delivered on time from Shelby Parker to Howell, and that's enough for a 1st and 10 for Lincoln County. And if I'm not mistaken, that's their first half of the second half, first down of the second half, and it comes with 8:43 to go in the football game.
Excellent pattern, excellent throw, and Archie Howell has been the leading receiver for Lincoln County this year. He had 23 catches for 420 yards. And Coach Thompson says he's one of the players that's really come on and been a great player for Lincoln County, not only offensively and defensively, but special teams, a very good player on the special team unit.
Give is now to Henderson off the left side. It didn't look like much was there, but when they unstack them, it's going to look like he has about 4 yards, maybe even 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 or 6 to go. An excellent line surge, and maybe the size and strength of this Lincoln County line is beginning to wear on the Riverdale Warriors just a little bit. Into the game for Lincoln County, hurries number 77 at right guard. That is Andy Scott, a 6 foot, 250-pound sophomore. The give was to the fullback Haston, and he was met in the backfield for a loss of about 2, maybe even 3 on the play. They're going to mark him at the 26-yard line, a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Really closer to 3rd and 7. The clock is running with 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the football game. Excellent line surge that time by Riverdale. Parker gets the snap, looking for a receiver, Archie Howell. That one was incomplete, and again, it was thrown where no one could catch it if his receiver couldn't. And so with 7:02 to go, it'll be 4th and 7, a punting situation. The punter for Lincoln County is number 20, Todd Brown. He's handled the kickoff chores tonight, and he's been busy on kickoffs and also the punting duties, and he's punted once for 19 yards. This will be his 2nd of the game. In the first possession of the second half, he punted 19 under great pressure from the defensive front of Riverdale. Good snap. Penalty flag is down, and an excellent punt is gotten away by Brown this time. And Duke called for a fair catch. The ball took a Riverdale bounce and died at the 34-yard line, but that one may come back due to what appears to be an illegal motion penalty. It looks as though the penalty is going to be accepted.
Any driver of a Lincoln County bus, any driver, please go to where the buses are parked.
We have illegal motion on the offense. Replay 4th down.
Brown with another opportunity to punt now, and Duke with another opportunity to receive the punt. Brown got off a good one that last time. Now he punts it away again, not so good. He kicks it off the side of his foot to the left, and that was an excellent choice by Riverdale to elect to have him punt again, as he had gotten off a booming punt, and instead he kicks it out of bounds to the left, and the ball will be marked inside Lincoln County territory at about the 39-yard line, where Riverdale will be in good shape, and they've kept the pressure on the Lincoln County defense this entire second half. McGowan gets the pitch on the corner. Good seam there. Coming up to make the stop from his defensive back spot was number 2, Archie Howell. I thought that might have been him, but I waited till the players unstacked to see. And he has played a tremendous game offensively and defensively. These teams have been well prepared. The Riverdale Warriors are coached by Gary Rankin, defensive coordinator Jimmy Maynard. Ricky Field coaches wide receivers and defensive ends. Brad Cowan, the running backs and DBs, and Steve Britton, the offensive and defensive lines. Second down and short, about 3, and the give is to Maurikas Williams off the left side, and he got inside the 30 down to the 25, and that's enough for a first down for Lincoln County. The clock will be stopped for the moving of the chains, and they want to rescue some pride and salvage something from this game with 5:49 to go and try to get something on the scoreboard. Pitch to Duke, and that pitch was made early, and he almost got through there, but instead pounded down to about the 24, maybe the 23-yard line before he was tripped up there. Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8. The Lincoln County Falcons have also been extremely well prepared, not only for this game, but all year long by head coach Lewis Thompson, assistant coaches Don McNeese, Don Thomas, Travis Wells, and Dan Winfrey. And they are well supported tonight by their entire community. Dropping back to pass, Carney pumps and throws the fade to Griffin, who's there. A great recovery, but a great catch by Griffin. Archie Howell made a great recovery to break on the ball and actually tipped the ball, but Gerald Griffin, the rising sophomore, was able to play the tip and make the catch and give the Riverdale faithful something to shout about.
Excellent concentration on his part, because the ball had been tipped up in the air, and he didn't give up on it, watched it into his hands, and gets the touchdown.
On to attempt the extra point for Riverdale is number 10, Ryan Miller. They trail now 20-6, a 14-point deficit. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And so with 4 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the football game, Lincoln County now leads 20-7 over Riverdale.
Down drive, 5 plays, 39 yards, the 23-yard pass from Carney to Griffin.
It looks like they're going to try for the onside kick. It goes to the left. It's loose, but Lincoln County recovers it, I do believe. That could have been Olive. It was Franklin Olive, number 33, who had the ball hit him and pop away from him ever so briefly. But then he rescued the ball back and got it for the Lincoln County Falcons. And they really needed to recover that one. They need something big to happen on offense, or rather on defense, very quickly if they want to have any kind of chance in this football game. Parker now sees receivers left and right, gives on the delay to Henderson. He spins out of one tackle, then runs through another and crosses midfield down to the 49-yard line. A great spinning, driving, churning run by Henderson. A pickup of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You can be sure that Lincoln County is going to use as much time as they can between plays to run this clock down as far as possible.
Parker takes the snap, gives it to Henderson once again. And you can also be sure that Shelby Parker is telling his backs and whoever will be running the ball, hang on to the rock for this last stretch here. With 3:49 to go in the football game, Riverdale calls timeout. 3rd and about 6 from the 47-yard line. Reverse to Grogan. He's got some room if he can get to the corner, but he can't as Corey Carney came up to stop him. Trying to run wide was Grogan on the reverse. The first one through there to mess up that play was for Riverdale, number 60, Josh Robinson, one of the 5 seniors on this team. And Riverdale asked for a timeout with 3:35 to go. 3:35, Todd Brown back to punt. Duke deep to receive for Riverdale. Good snap, good punt away from Duke. Takes a favorable Riverdale bounce and goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And that will also stop the clock with 3:25 to go in the football game. Riverdale is 72 yards away from pay dirt and 13 points behind. And it seems, well, let's just say very difficult and unlikely at this point for Riverdale, but they'll face the challenge and come out with 2 receivers split to the left and 1 to the right and split backs in the backfield. Marcus Smith and I believe Duke are the running backs. Passes in the flat to Griffin, who just dropped the ball. I don't think he would have gotten much anyway, as the defense really got to the football in a hurry there. But the pass was out in the flat and went through the hands of Griffin, who's had just a superb night.
Well, and he's going to get a lot of attention. That's just good coaching on Lincoln County's part to know who the big play receiver is in this offense. And they made sure they had plenty of coverage. Terrence McLean and Archie Howell over there watching him very closely. So it's going to be hard to get the ball to Griffin.
And now McGowan is in the game along with Maricus Williams in the backfield. The pass is intended out there for Griffin. Almost intercepted, or at least a shot at the interception by McLean. And it falls away incomplete. Marcus Smith replaces Maricus Williams at fullback. McGowan will be, it looks like, the tailback in the eye. Bryant and Griffin are to the left. Duke, I think, is split wide to the right. Pressure, number 63 up the middle, Danny Lowe. And that Falcon defensive line has put good pressure on the quarterback, Carney, all night long. And it'll be 4th and 7 with 3 minutes to go in the football game. Riverdale trailing, and they'll probably, 4th and 17. Riverdale will probably go for it here, and a very tough circumstance for the Warriors as the defensive line can just tee off every time now.
Well, the Lincoln County defense as a unit is just outstanding, but Danny Lowe has had a great second half in particular. We've been calling his number and his name nearly all second half, and just outstanding.
I think I said that Duke was wide to the right. Instead, it had been Peebles, and now he is replaced by Demetrius Nelson. And there's a whistle and a timeout asked for. No, correction. A delay of game is called against Riverdale. That'll back them up 5 more and make it 4th and about 21, 22 yards. .2:27 showing on the game clock. 2 receivers are to the left, and now Griffin goes in motion. He could be the pitch man. He could be looking to pass. He does throw it long downfield. It's a jump ball situation and batted down out there by Franklin Olive. And so with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go, Lincoln County will take over at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. And about all they have to do, since Riverdale has no timeouts on the clock, snap it 2 or 3 times and they can run out the clock and take home their 3rd state championship for Tennessee high school football in its largest classification. Previous championships being won in 1982 and 1990 by the Falcons. The give is to number 35, and we've seen him run the ball a good bit tonight for Lincoln County. Shannon Haston. The quarterback into the game for Lincoln County is number 11, Nathan Browning, a 5'10", 160 junior, replacing the outstanding senior, Shelby Parker, who's had just a great night at the helm of the Falcons.
I think Shelby Parker very much was the difference in this football game, his execution and the way he handled his team, and he's got a very fine arm, at times throwing into a very stiff breeze here tonight.
There goes Haston off the left side, and he's running hard down to about the 8-yard line before he was knocked down. He had to get inside the 6 for the first down, and so he's going to be a couple of yards short. The fullback in the game was Eric Lane, and a number of substitutions now for the Falcons as their fans and players on the sidelines begin the celebration. Darius Leslie, a sophomore, is in the game at wide receiver, I believe. He's 6 foot, 140 pounds, and the fullback is number 48, Eric Lane. Haston is the tailback. Browning takes the snap from center and nudges it forward, trying for the first down. He had to get inside the 6, and he got somewhere in that vicinity, but we'll see where they spot it, and they may have to call for a measurement. The officials say it's a little bit short. It's going to be 4th and inches for the first down.
Let's talk a little bit about Riverdale. It looks like they're going to go down to defeat here. They've had a fine season, and really the last 3 years they've just been excellent. 34-3 over the last 3 years, and this is a team that lost 9 offensive starters from off last year's team, including Mr. Football Brian Davis. They lost 8 defensive starters. Nobody really thought they'd be at this point, and it's just a tribute to their players and their coaches to have reached this final game.
Brad Shelton and Michael Smith were also in the game at wide receiver for Lincoln County, as once again Browning took it up the middle of the line down to the 5-yard line for the game-clinching first down. 20 seconds and counting to go, and they will not snap the ball again. The celebration has begun with the tossing of the Gatorade onto the coaches. Other coaches are running from the Gatorade on the sidelines, and helmets are being thrown into the air, and fans are cheering, and 1 second remains on the clock, and Lincoln County is the Class 5A state champion for the state of Tennessee. This is one of the great things about high school sports right here, Bill, what we're seeing on the screen now, and that is the excellent display of sportsmanship. You know Lincoln County's got to be jumping up and down inside, but they shake hands and console and congratulate the Riverdale Warrior players, and the Riverdale Warrior players are extremely disappointed, but they're congratulating earnestly the Lincoln County Falcons, and they have nothing to be ashamed of, having played 15 weeks of the football season, which is every team's goal and dream, and just coming up a little bit short in the championship game to an outstanding Lincoln County football team.
Well, both these teams are outstanding, and I think what you see here is the fact that both these programs are being built right. They both have a lot of class. They know how to win with class and how to lose with class, and And I know it hurts now, but there really are no losers in this Clinic Bowl because to get here is such an achievement for both ball clubs.
And listen to the crowd across the way cheer their hometown heroes, the Lincoln County Falcons, who have gotten their third state championship victory in the last 12 football seasons, and in the biggest classification in a state which is very competitive in the largest classification in football. That's an outstanding accomplishment and achievement. Let's go down to the field for the presentation of the runner-up and the championship trophies.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will direct your attention to the center of the field, Miss Lisa Austin and Mr. Randy Wilmore, the co-chairs of the 1993 Clinic Bowl, along with Mr. Ronnie Carter, Executive Director of the TAAAA, and Dick Sobel, Director of Public Relations for American General Life and Accident Insurance Company, will present the trophies for the Class 5A Championship. We begin with the naming of the offensive and defensive players of the game. On the offense, that award goes to number 12, Shelby Parker of Lincoln County. Defensive side of the ball, the outstanding player, number 29 from Lincoln County, Chad Henderson. And there are other trophies. One to the coach of the runner-up team. This one goes to Coach Gary Rankin. And the trophy to the entire team, the runner-up in Class 5A, the Warriors of Murfreesboro Riverdale. And there is special significance in this next presentation. Betty Sellers is an employee of American General Life and Accident Insurance Company. She is also the sister of Coach Lewis Thompson of Lincoln County. She will present the winning plaque to her brother, Coach Lewis Thompson. And the trophy to the champions in 5A, the Falcons of Lincoln County.
A touching moment in high school sports as the championship coach's plaque was presented to Coach Lewis Thompson by his sister, and just a very beautiful display out there on the field of congratulations and affection. The most valuable players of the game today have been on offense. Number 12, the senior quarterback, Shelby Parker. He was 6 of 11, 1 interception, but he had 2 touchdown passes and 122 yards for Lincoln County, and he's an outstanding senior. The defensive MVP was number 29, 6'3", 245-pound junior, Chad Henderson. His coach thinks he'll be one of the top players in Tennessee next year, and he made 10 tackles today and had 1 deflected pass and was named the defensive MVP. And so the final chapter has been written in Class 5A football for 1993, and the Lincoln County Falcons are the champions. For Video Sports, I'm Steve Lusk, along with Billy Ringgold and Coach Greg Lusk, and statistician Mark Beckham, telling you that the final score of the Class 5A championship game of Tennessee is Lincoln County 20, Murfreesboro Riverdale 7.